On July 15th, 2022, a TikToker uploaded a video that instantly sent chills through everyone who watched it. The clip captured something truly unsettling, an unexpected visitor showing up at her home while she wasn't there. In the recording, a voice, cold, raspy, almost desperate, can be heard at the back door. Over and over, it repeats the same haunting phrase, "Let me in." Each time it sounds stranger, more distorted, more disturbing. And what makes it worse, no one is visible on camera. Scratching, knocking, the sounds grow sharper, closer. It's as if someone, or something, was desperately trying to get inside. The faint outline of a shadow appears in the bottom right corner of the frame, but whoever's out there never steps into view. Some viewers believe it was staged, just a creepy setup for views. Others aren't so sure. They think someone with dark intentions was targeting her home, waiting for her to come back. To this day, there's been no update, no explanation, just that one haunting clip, and a voice still echoing in people's heads, "Let me in." In September 2018, a man named Jeff Knoll uploaded a video to his YouTube channel, a video that still creeps people out to this day. The title alone was enough to send chills down your spine. Man trying to enter my home in the middle of the night. In the footage, a strange man can be seen slowly approaching the front door. At first, it doesn't look too alarming, just someone standing outside in the dark. But then, he starts fiddling with the doorknob, as if he's trying to figure out a way inside. Moments later, things take an even darker turn. The man begins talking to himself, muttering words that are mostly impossible to understand. Fragments of phrases, half-sentences, the kind of thing that instantly makes your skin crawl. Before he can make it any further, the homeowner, watching from an upstairs window, yells down and threatens to call the police.
Okay, I was just looking for my dog, Fido. Whoa. You don't have to get all like that and stuff, honey. You know, we could be friends.
The intruder freezes for a moment, then gives an excuse so bizarre it's almost laughable. He says he's just looking for his dog Fo, as if that somehow explains why he was twisting the doorknob in the middle of the night. Then, without missing a beat, he adds, "We could be friends." And with that, he casually turns around and walks off into the darkness. Jeff never saw the man again. To this day, he has no idea who that stranger was, or what would have happened if he hadn't spoken up when he did. In April 2021, Shia Bryan and her husband were at home in North Carolina. A normal, quiet evening. Their 13-year-old son stepped outside to walk the family dog, but within seconds, that peaceful moment turned into something deeply unsettling. As soon as the boy closed the door behind him, their Ring camera caught a silver BMW creeping to a stop in front of the house. The engine idled for a brief moment, then a man stepped out. No hesitation, no smile. just walked straight toward the teenager. He didn't even bother introducing himself. The first thing he asked, "Do you live around here?" According to Shaya, she and her husband had warned their son countless times about talking to strangers, but this time, the boy froze. Completely. Fear just took over. What makes the footage so disturbing is how deliberate the man seemed. He didn't stumble or act lost. He knew exactly what he was doing. It felt like he'd been circling the neighborhood, waiting for the right moment. Or maybe he already knew the Bryants' routine. Maybe he was there for their son. Luckily, the boy's father saw what was happening and rushed outside before anything could happen.
What you got to ask my son?
Oh, I was wondering about the airplane noise.
Talking to my son and he ain't got no adult out here. That's kind of creepy.
Caught off guard, the stranger tried to cover it up. He stammered something about wondering where the airplane noise was coming from. Seriously? Who drives around a random neighborhood just to ask a 13-year-old about airplane noise? The father didn't buy a single word. After a tense standoff, the man quickly turned back, climbed into his silver BMW, and drove off. Shaya said she never stopped wondering what his real plan was, because deep down, everyone who's seen that footage knows. He wasn't there to talk about airplanes. He was there for something else. Something much darker. In April 2023, in a quiet Connecticut neighborhood, a doorbell camera captured something straight out of a nightmare. Around 9:30 a.m., a man wearing an orange safety vest walked up to a house, holding a package in his hand. As soon as the homeowner opened the door, things took a dark turn. To make himself seem legitimate, the man pretended to read the address on the package, keeping his tone calm, almost friendly, but he wasn't there to deliver anything. The second the homeowner hesitated, the man suddenly pulled out a weapon and tried to force his way inside. In a moment of sheer instinct, the homeowner shoved him back and slammed the door shut before running deeper into the house. The armed man fled the scene, leaving the fake package behind.
This is for you.
Police later identified the suspect as 37-year-old Xavier Otero, who was arrested at a relative's home in Hartford, Connecticut. He was charged with home invasion, criminal possession of a firearm, threatening, and attempted unlawful restraint. During the investigation, police discovered something even more chilling. Otero had allegedly been part of a planned home invasion plot, where victims were to be restrained with zip ties and robbed at gunpoint. When officers executed a search warrant, they found 1.1 kilograms of drugs, equipment linked to a drug operation, and a bag full of heavy-duty zip ties in the same room. Shortly after Otero's arrest, police also detained the getaway driver, charging him with conspiracy to commit home invasion and conspiracy to commit unlawful restraint. A month later, a third suspect, the alleged mastermind behind the operation, was arrested and sentenced to prison. As of now, all three men remain behind bars. In August 2023, in a quiet neighborhood in Bowling Green, Ohio, a homeowner's Ring camera recorded something deeply unsettling. Late that night, a masked man approached the front door, rang the bell once, and bolted into the darkness. At first glance, it seemed like a simple ding-dong ditch prank, the kind of thing most homeowners have dealt with before. But then, something felt off. Watching closely, it became clear. The man hadn't actually run away. He stopped in the middle of the street and just stood there, staring. Inside the house, the homeowner, startled by the sound, walked downstairs to check what was going on. When he looked outside, he saw the figure still standing under the dim street light, motionless, watching the house in complete silence. That was enough. The homeowner immediately called the police. The next morning, Bowling Green police shared the footage online, asking for help identifying the masked intruder. Soon after, other neighbors came forward, saying they'd experienced similar visits in the days before the video was uploaded. Despite the attention, the man was never identified. His face, his purpose, his reason for standing there that night, all remain a mystery. To this day, no one knows who he was or what he wanted. It's the dead of night. The house is silent. Everyone inside is asleep until the doorbell rings. Outside, a man, or something that looks like a man, staring straight into the camera. He's wearing a grotesque mask and that strange colorful jacket, like he's mocking whoever's watching. He looks around, left, right, as if searching for someone or making sure no one sees him. Then, he disappears from view. For a moment, the porch is empty, but when he returns, he's holding a shovel. No words, no sound. Just that eerie stare before he walks off into the darkness. No one knows who he was, or what he planned to do that night. But one thing's for sure. If that door had opened, this story might have ended very differently. In Alberta, Canada, at around 1:35 p.m. on October 16, 2018, a homeowner received a motion alert from his Ring camera while he was at work. Since he rarely had visitors in the middle of the day, he opened the live view feature immediately, and that's when he saw this. At first, nothing seemed unusual. The man on camera was dressed like any other utility or telecom worker, wearing a vest and cap. But within seconds, the situation turned unsettling. The so-called worker began pounding on the door, glancing through the windows, and trying the handle. The homeowner's unease grew with every movement. Then, things escalated. The man, now wearing gloves, likely to avoid leaving fingerprints, motioned for someone off screen to come closer. A second man appeared. While one acted as a lookout, the other pulled out what looked like a large screwdriver, using it to pry the door open with alarming force.
Get away from the door.
As the door began to crack open, the homeowner quickly activated the two-way talk feature and shouted through the camera, making it clear that he was watching them live. Startled, the two men fled before managing to get inside. After the footage was released, local police interviewed the homeowner and launched an investigation. The video went viral on Facebook, with several neighbors claiming to recognize the suspects, though no arrests were ever confirmed. Based on what was caught on camera, the men were likely preparing for an armed robbery, but with no follow-up or official statement, no one knows for sure. To this day, the true intentions of those two men, and what they planned to do, remain a mystery. In August 2019, a security camera inside a quiet suburban home in Troy, Michigan captured something terrifying. The footage showed a man, unknown, expressionless, slowly walking down to the photo. A few seconds later, though this part wasn't caught on camera, he entered the homeowner's bedroom. Inside, a woman was sleeping. She later told police that she woke up to see the man standing over her bed. She screamed, and in that instant, the intruder bolted out of the house and disappeared into the night. Even with the surveillance footage, investigators had no leads, no idea who he was or how he managed to get inside. But the story didn't end there. Just 2 months later, in October 2019, the same man appeared again, this time in Rochester Hills, Michigan. Security footage caught him climbing onto a hot tub, leaning against the window, and staring inside for several seconds, before calmly walking away. The homeowner reported the incident, but again, the man vanished before anyone could identify him. Months went by. Then, in January 2020, he surfaced once more, this time in Bloomfield Township. He peered through a kitchen window, then ducked behind a tree. The homeowner's security system alerted him immediately, capturing footage of the man lurking near the sign of the house. By now, the community was on edge. 3 separate incidents, same man, same area. But he always managed to slip away before police arrived. Finally, in February 2020, luck ran out for him. A police officer spotted a man running from a residential yard in the same Bloomfield neighborhood. He matched the suspect's description, and this time they caught him. The intruder was identified as 27-year-old Donovan Johnson, a bankruptcy attorney. Yes, a lawyer by day, prowler by night. He was arrested, issued a restraining order, and forced to wear a GPS monitor until his court date. After his release on bond, the case went quiet. No further updates, no statements. But if he was convicted, it's likely that Donovan Johnson is still serving time to this day.